Happy, what is it, Thursday morning, everybody, from Corning, New York, right outside of Watkins Glen, the famous NASCAR track. And did you know, Watkins Glen, so legendary. They raced Formula One there. They used to race downtown through the city. And now it's a NASCAR track. And by the way, hey, Kim, they were racing GT cars there yesterday. And you even said that.
I did a race with them.
Yeah. Now, come here, honey.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a two-part coffee with Kenny. Max is coming in about, 4 minutes. Max Papis is coming in 4 minutes. Hold on, everybody. Okay, when we were going around the racetrack, how did you know those were the, Trans Am, GT type cars? How'd you know that?
Because I did a race for somebody, and he wanted all of these different cars that raced at Road America.
So remember Kim's Wreaths by Kim. When is your big craft sale?
November 8th. November 8th.
Okay, so as we get ready to go here, we are leaving Corning. It was a great night. And, every Kyle Petty charity ride, I think about what Kyle Petty said. He said, hey, man, I used to think it was about these motorcycles. And we try to think it is, and we compare thoughts about motorcycles, but it really is about the people. We have met so many people that it is amazing. And today, we are leaving. Kim and I are headed back to St. Louis, Missouri on this Thursday morning. The ride ends tomorrow, and I want to thank Kyle Petty for calling me. I'll never forget the call. Herman, I need two things. I said, yeah, Kyle. Sit on that couch with that goofy ass hair of yours and those glasses and sell my book. And the other thing he said, I want you to go on this ride. And I said, Kyle, I'm too hyper to go on that damn ride. I'll get to talking inside my helmet. And he goes, come on, man, we got it geared towards you old people. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's still a great time. And we ride about averaging around 220 miles a day, and then we stop and we sign autographs. There's Kay Schrader. We're getting ready in about a minute and a half with Espresso. All right, Kenny, you're the one. Now, don't act shy. I'm serious when I say this. The Wallaces, we grew up, motocrossing a little bit, but I remember the pig roast years ago when race season would be over. Ronnie Sifford, Jerry's brother, he would hold that. Is that when you got interested in motorcycles?
No, I don't know. I just always rode bikes, and when I started running the cup car, actually Kyle probably got me riding a little bit. Then,
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I just played with them. But then it's first real trips I took. Not these, but we'd leave Texas and go to Phoenix and stuff.
Yeah. About 50. You said 56,000 miles on yours right now. At what time? It's just breaking in.
Here we go.
Rick Allen, everybody.
Do you have to be named Ken to sit in here and talk, or
no?
Can a Max or a Rick join?
Well, Max is when we get to about 5 minutes, we're going into the Max Papis Espresso with Max.
Espresso with Max.
Max, why don't we just go ahead and start Espresso with Max right now?
Bye.
Bye, Kenny.
You got to start you guys know. First of all, Kenny didn't want anything to do with Espresso with Max.
As soon as the Espresso with Max started, Mr. Kenny Schrader left aboard. And Rick Allen is running away.
I'm out.
And what about this marriage here between Kenny and Max?
Look at that double screen. I love this.
Here we go. Bang. Here we go.
Hold on. Put yours right
Wait,
back there.
I'm going to do this, okay?
I love
Double
it.
screen. Hey, so subject of the day.
Yep.
We are here with Kyle.
Yep.
Kyle Petty Charity Ride.
Right.
We're doing so good for everyone else.
Right.
We are at Watkins Glen,
Right.
a place that saw Kyle first win.
Right. Kyle won here in a hell of a race with the man in black, Earnhardt, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Tell me more.
Well, it was a big win, because, when Kyle drove that mellow yellow car, he was driving for Felix Sabates, and at first they had Gary Nelson, but then they had ended up, with
I think
Robin
have so much
Pemberton.
memory.
Same as you do. But Robin Pemberton, did you hear that story of how Kyle won? Kyle Petty yesterday.
Actually, yeah, he told us the story, right? He was coming in and out in practice in the garages, putting cardboard, making sure that. Sorry, Mr. Sheriff.
No, you act like you don't. You act like you don't hear him.
Yeah, he just left. He told us we were hugging during.
So going up through the S's, the nose will fly. Remember when you told me about your Formula One cars? If you get behind somebody and the nose will
Wash
turn,
off.
you go up through those S's. It's real hard to get the camber gain, and keep that baby turning up through the S's because you're going up, and the air is getting underneath. You're wanting to fly the nose. Fly the nose. You know what that means. It won't turn. So they made the nose of that Pontiac Grand Prix
as wide as possible, right? And what did they say that instead of having the Grand
word,
Prix,
yeah.
they put GP so
Yeah.
that things look smaller?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah, because the word Grand Prix would be like there'd be a lot of space left. So they just put GP so NASCAR wouldn't jack with them.
And he said he was able to go wide open in the S's, right?
Yes, and that, my friends, is why we have this new next gen car. Keep going though.
So, subject for me
Yeah,
and for you,
yeah.
leaving today.
Don't forget your phone.
All right.
he started putting his phone down.
I can believe. All right.
Leaving today. You,
Subject of today.
Yeah, where are you going?
NASCAR
Oh,
wanna keep the veteran out of the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. What's your opinion?
that was a good test, but I don't like it. Okay, for me, that test is over because here's why. We brought so many fans to the grandstands because, Kyle Busch is going to be racing today. It's a fact that when you bring a Cup driver in to the Truck Series, for so many races, and not just that, Max, I'm going to end like this. Number one, it brings people in. Number two, you can ask my wife right now. She's right there. That Xfinity race,
That's Kim.
that Xfinity race that we won, we were in Richmond one night. I looked in my mirror and I saw bubble goggles, and it was Dale Earnhardt Sr. And then the Winn-Dixie Ford was behind him. When I won that race in Richmond that night with Dale Earnhardt Sr. on my ass,
Put your name on the map.
put my name on the map because they said Kenny Wallace on that given night, I could never compete with those guys, but that night I was the baddest son of a bitch there because I outran Dale Sr. and I outran Mark the Kid Martin. So I think that it makes those Xfinity drivers or truck drivers better if they can outrun those veterans.
That is my opinion too. What I wanted to say, I think that I want to see more Cup guys in the Xfinity, in the Truck Series to validate these young guys. Because otherwise, how a Hendrick, a Joe Gibbs will ever be able to see how good these young guys are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they show up, to the Cup Series, they get run over. They might not be ready for it, while the Xfinity and the Truck Series, they're done.
Stay here.
So that you can actually learn about it. And you are a testimony, Mr. Rutledge, of something special today. Is the marriage, as you can see what I have behind? What's
the deal?
Is it your anniversary?
No, is the marriage between coffee with Kenny and espresso with Max.
Oh, okay, a spin-off of.
We are making
Americano.
I'd like to add a quote that Kenny would often say on race day, which is still true. To be the best, you got to beat the best, right?
That's right. That Ric Flair, baby.
We are missing that one element. And to your point, imagine these kids get shuffled up, they get a chance of a lifetime, and then they're out, but they shouldn't be. They don't have the same learning curve. We've also lost that thing of like, I would love to be the greatest driver in trucks. I'd love to be the greatest driver in Xfinity.
Yeah.
But we also have this weird thing where people are like, if you're any good and you got money, you got to go to the top right now, today.
You might not want to go there.
No,
I agree with you. I
ran like 905 races, but I ran 355 of those in Cup, but 547 in Xfinity. The math is this. I made a living in the Xfinity Series, but everybody's dream is to make it to the Cup Series to show you're the man. You look at Carson Hocevar and Connor Zilic. Those guys are like, hey, we want to be in Cup, and Connor sat on the pole at Texas. That was a big deal.
It's huge, but also if he went into Cup tomorrow, as talented as he is, if he's in the wrong equipment then suddenly people go, oh, well, he must
Hosteball.
have just been in the right
there is
thing.
Hosteball
one
sat on the
guy
pole.
that has a shot like that, and how many of the other they're actually really good?
Okay,
but they don't get a
you
shot.
can see this is going to keep going, everybody.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Respond
You were so
right
sweet.
here. I love
Absolutely,
you. To spend
guys.
the time this
I'm
week.
I'm
Both you
leaving.
guys.
Sorry about
You
that.
guys are leaving on jet plane.
I'm leaving today. You know, going to Indianapolis to officiate
Yes.
the Indy GP.
We got to go.
You, Kenny, where do you go?
I'm headed to Brownstown, Illinois to run dirt Friday night.
Come on.
And you?
I'll be here. I love you guys. We'll miss you. Thanks for being a part of the Kyle Petty Charity Ride again. You guys are the best.
Respond right here. I like Max's take on this. Do the Xfinity and truck drivers, do they need to run more races? Now that we've done that 6-7 year test, do you miss the Cup drivers? At Rick, do you miss the Cup drivers
In the Xfinity and the Truck Series.
Yes or no?
Definitely.
Okay. Respond right here.
Here we go.
Have a
Kyle
great
Petty Charity
Thursday.
Ride taking off.